All right, welcome to Fit to Fire podcast. What's up, baby?
What's up, brother?
Now, another week in the books. Happy Veterans Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Happy Veterans Day, the
And
vets.
to you.
Yeah. So, what's going on, man? What's on your mind?
So, last podcast was long.
Yeah, it
Obviously,
was.
just
God,
to
it
let
was.
everybody know, we want it long. YouTube wants it long to start out with, and then we get a little short clips so that people can kind of get a glimpse of what we're all about. Thank you to the few people that watched the whole thing through. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah,
but
it was. Yeah.
we're not going to do that to you every time.
No, we're gonna try more discipline this time.
Condense it, and we kind of bounced around all over the place because we just went for it. That's what we are.
Yeah.
We're not scripted. We're conversationalists, and
That's right.
what comes out comes out, and that's what I love about sitting here and having these conversations with you. And I think people benefit from it, and that's what I'm excited about, man. I'm pumped.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. So last time we talked about my journey a little bit, and this week I got that People Magazine article coming out, which I'm really excited about. And it's going to be called New Year, New You. And the word on the street is that I beat out a lot of people for it. I wasn't even competing for it, but my telehealth company, LifeMD, submitted my story because People Magazine reached out. And they really like my story because I'm down 175 pounds now. So that's freaking awesome, man. GLP-1, I'm telling you, it is a miracle drug. And there's a lot of stipulations, a lot of negative connotations out there about it. And the big thing is that the people are worried about being on it for the rest of your life. And I'm not worried about that, right?
Okay.
Because I've been struggling with this for 30 years. Since I was fifth grade, 11 years old, I've been 100 pounds overweight. And when I lost 100 pounds when I was in high school, there was one thing I didn't have when I was an adult that I could never lose weight was alcohol. And when I started drinking, my first duty station was in England. And man, 18, 19 years old in England drinking, forget about it, man. How my NCOs worked it is that Monday through Friday, you diet, you exercise, but the weekend's yours, right? To blow off some steam. And I took that advice at 19 years old.
Little did they know.
Little did they know that they were really shooting myself in the foot, right? It was not great advice. It's a lifestyle that you have to be mentally disciplined in the entire time.
Yeah.
And I did diet during that time. I would have tuna or chicken, had 12 to 1,500 calories in a day, make sure I had my protein goals. But Friday night and Saturday night, fish and chips and as much beer. And it was crazy, man. And if I lost any weight during the week, I gained it all Friday night and Saturday. And so it never really worked. So that's honestly is why, as an adult, alcohol has been the reason why I could never lose any weight. And that's just honest. And I think a lot of us as overweight people, we have to be honest with ourselves. And so when I started this journey a year ago, well, let me go back a little bit further. When I turned 40, I turned 42 this February. So in 24, when I turned 40, a switch flipped in my heart. I felt myself dying. For the first time in my life, I felt myself dying. And our lead producer here, our production manager, is going to post a picture of myself right here. It's really disgusting. So don't look away, but that's what it was. And it was terrible. And my wife, she was just frustrated, honestly, because she's been with me coming on 17 years now. And she's been with me and trying to help me out. Any kind of fad diet, fasting, keto, plant-based and vegetarian. I watched a documentary on Netflix about just the being plant-based diet.
Beyond Beef.
Beyond Beef. I watched that too. And then I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Why not? Right?
Because you know who produced that, right?
Probably the food.
The people who make the,
those type of products.
It's not coming right, but
yeah,
100%.
So when I turned 40 and I felt myself, the sand of my life starting to slip away, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to die soon, right? I would not be here right now, Chris, honest to God. I would not be here right now. I know this year would have been my last year on this earth if I didn't go on this medication, man. Sorry, I get a little emotional about it because it hurts. And
that's just for one is therapy for you, but this is for two dudes that seem rough and tough and burly and bearded, right?
Yeah.
To show people that we can be vulnerable and that it's okay to have stuff going wrong and to
Yeah.
have mental hangups on stuff and try to get past it. I had guys that led the way for me to say, hey, I idolize them in a lot of ways and said, if they can do it, I can do it. And that's what you need to do for other people. This podcast is not for dudes that look like me. It's a podcast dude for like everybody that are frustrated, man,
Yeah.
and have tried everything. And we're gonna dive in and we talked a lot bit before, but I want everybody here that knowing your journey, what your takeaways were, positive, negatives. I'm going to ask you some of those,
Yeah,
and
please.
then I might chime in and say, "Well, here's some options."
Yeah.
And I'm famous for going options, not trying to tell anybody what to do, what they did wrong. That's not the approach I've ever made or I want to make on anyone, because it looks like I'm holier than thou. Oh, I
Mm.
look like this, and let me tell you what to do, because you're going to look at me like you have no idea what to go through.
Yeah.
But the
There's
reality is, there are some stuff out that doesn't work. There's some stuff out there that we both know is wrong. There's some stuff
mhm.
that we know that did help a lot. That's why I want to pull out of you and share. Not like I could have fixed you. If you'd have done it the way I done it, like, no, that's not the approach. The approach is like, what really worked? What
Yeah,
really didn't? Or what worked for you that might not work for other people. That's what I want to bring out of this. So as you continue your story, let's dissect it a little
for
bit
sure.
about, what you learned.
Yeah, especially I want you guys, I want to be able to, where I failed is that my failures is part of wisdom, right? And I want to be able to transfer that wisdom on, like, don't make these same mistakes.
Yes.
If I could go on back a year ago, I'm very happy with my progress, but there was definitely some mistakes in the beginning that I could have fixed in the beginning. So when I started the GLP-1, you have no appetite, food is no longer, it doesn't sound good, and it's crazy to even think about with the food noise being gone. And it's like being in Dallas Cowboy Stadium playoffs and they win in the fourth quarter. That's how loud food noise is all the time, 24/7
Wow.
and
Well, just being
365
there when
days.
the Cowboys win is not normal.
Yeah,
So,
that's right too.
and I'm a
But
fan.
that's the reason why, if it was amazing, that the stadium, the 100,000 people be
Yeah.
screaming top of their lungs. And as soon as you take this medication, you're by yourself in the stadium.
Wow.
It's that powerful, that powerful. And now you're like, holy crap. Now, I made a video about 2 months in. I got real bad depression, anxiety, because now I always ran to food and
Yeah.
alcohol for those. Because if you're happy, I was drinking and eating. If I was sad, I was drinking and eating. If I was having a good time with my friends, I was drinking and eating. So, but now you don't have that anymore. And it was such a dark place, and it's hard to that's a side effect of this medication that I haven't seen anyone really talk about, is that you get depressed. You're
Yeah.
gonna get depressed but I knew mentally that the gym was going to replace that, right? I
Yeah.
knew that in the beginning. And before I started the medication, I was really honest about myself. And I really think a lot of overweight people that really need to write down in their lives, what truly matters in your life. And I've read a lot of books. We've talked about this, 7 Habits of High Performers. And what really stuck out to me with that is that there's one trait that every single person, and it's not even a habit that's even listed. It's the eighth habit: selfishness. You have to be selfish. Okay, got
Yeah.
it. And then I was reading Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, Total Recall, and fascinating story, absolutely great book. I was reading that and I was intrigued about, okay, how did Arnold become, you know, Mr. Olympia, movie star, governor, and he's not just one thing, he's multiple things. And I had to find out, and I wanted to read through his book and see, okay, what was the common factor? And at the end of the book, I found it out. And I've read this years ago, and I try to apply this principle every single time when I go into a diet, and it always would fail. But with the GLP-1, I was able to take Arnold's principle in real time. And you have to I wrote down on a piece of paper, and I don't have it anymore. It's too bad, because it'd be great to put on a little slide, but I don't have it anymore. I wrote down in the center a universe, like a solar system. Okay, what's my center? And my honest center is work. It wasn't even family, wasn't God, it was work. Because if my job told me to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning to be at work, I would get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go to work. And I'd drive into work an hour plus into work and be there all day and then come an hour home. And I'd be exhausted. But I wouldn't take that same time to drive an hour to the gym. everyone has the same kind of thing. Why am I going to drive an hour, 30 minutes to a gym, spend 10 minutes, and then drive at 30 to 45 an hour back home, right? That seems like waste of time. And I believe that's where we all fall short, is that, so I took work out of it, and I love my job. I took work out of the center and I put health and fitness. Okay, so this is what I got to do. Okay, health is food. I have to eat good. And fitness, I have to do something, at least something every single day. And that's what I did. So, okay, so now this is what Arnold had. Anyone, if he wanted to be Mr. Olympia, his center of his universe was Mr. Olympia. And he would have his next ring would be, okay, outside of the gym, what can I do to make sure this is successful? He would go to school and he'd take classes on anatomy. Okay, this is how the body part, this muscle attached to this muscle. This is how much stress. And then his other ring, okay, if I have a job, how am I going to make work? If I'm going to go to work, what job would complement the center? And he would be a brick mason. That's a physical job, outside in the summer in LA, getting a tan, right? So everything that he did surrounded his center, and I'd made sure it had the same principle. So I wanted to make sure that my health and fitness was number one in my life. And so I was okay. Now I've taken this GLP-1 medication. Food is now okay. Choice. I can't have any sugars. I know that. No fried foods. I know that. No more sodas. No more that. No more alcohol. So I have to have some kind of food. So I use Cook Unity in the very beginning. And and Cook Unity is a food production, it's a food service that you have a menu and they send you food and then you're able to pick it out. So I always picked out something around 300 to 500 calories and it had 35 to 40 grams of protein, per meal. And then that's what for the first like 6 months, I used exclusively Cook Unity because sometimes, I was trying to meal prep, chicken or broccoli or rice. After 3 days, I want to kill somebody, right? It's terrible. Like, oh, I can't do this anymore.
Well, meal prep, just to interject, for people
that's
that
on your
haven't
side
been
of
on meal
health.
prep, So what meal prep's supposed to do for you is give you the right caloric intake and macronutrients numerically. If you're not eating numerically correct, we'll dive into this after you're done. If you're not eating numerically correct, you're not going to accomplish your goals.
100%.
There's no way around it.
There's no way around it.
The only real diet that you can sustain throughout life is a macronutrient, caloric-specific diet. That's it. That's how 100%. The doctor trained all the Marvel superheroes. Fact of the matter.
Yeah, fact.
Etc.
Yeah.
They probably took a lot more stuff than that, but
yeah.
Yeah. So when you talk about that, meal prep is supposed to do that for you. It's also supposed to spread and do meal timing. We'll get into it. Meal timing is where I start people off, right? Meal timing is where if you're eating every 3 to 4 hours, you're not hungry. You're right.
No, I use that principle. I use that
And
principle.
if you're hungry, that's when you dive into comfort food. That's when you dive into food that you prefer, not need.
Yeah.
That's one of the life hacks I teach is like, don't be hungry. The other fact of the matter, we talked about this earlier, but people need to understand this. If you skip meals, they call it fasting. I call it being busy and I get lazy and I don't eat. But if you skip that large breakfast, and then next thing you know, you're fasting through mid snack, and then you're eating a large lunch and you're eating a large dinner to make up for it, your body's going to store fat. It's not being fed often enough and is scheduled and doesn't think it's going to be fed when it needs to be fed, and it's going to store fat. It's going to say, oh shit, man, go into hibernation mode.
Right.
I can put you on a 3,000 calorie diet or on a 4,000 calorie diet. And if your meal timing is correct, you'll lose more weight on the 4,000 calorie diet than the 3,000 because your body's not storing fat. That's one of the biggest things people don't understand. Meal timing can also be like, I'll get in my fitness panel, I'll track my clients that are eating. I'll say, listen, I love that you're eating a good fat, like an avocado on toast, but don't do it for meal 5 or 6 late in the day. Use that energy. Fats are an elongated energy source like a carb. People don't understand that either. So if you metastasize, your metabolic rate is better with fats than it is with carbs. Have it early in the day. Use that elongated energy.
Now, see, I have a question about that too, because on your guys' side of the house, when I say your guys' side of the house, I'm saying like regular people, right?
Who deal with the same stuff you do, just in reverse, but we appear.
Regular people. But this is actually, I've been curious about this, right? Because I follow a lot of bodybuilders because I find that just fascinating, the mental discipline and all that. And then after the show, they have donuts, right? I always find that hilarious to me.
I did pizza after my last show.
Right. So, but the thing is, During where you guys were before a bodybuilding show with your clients and your wife, oh, she did 5 times, absolutely amazing. What kind of the craving, right? How strong is that craving for
This is a
crap?
really good question because there's a couple things that people don't understand and haven't been there. Number one, yeah, you've had everything taken out of your diet systematically. We don't just do crash diets, right? That's going
Mm,
to affect the body.
yeah.
But what you take out, you also have to put back in at the same pace, right? Like refeed, post contest diet is a
Hmm.
big thing. If I've taken all your sweets away, I've taken all your carbs away, I've taken all your breads away, I've taken all those things that, right, blur the lines, we say, I need to put them back methodically. It's a post contest diet.
Oh, okay.
So you can't just go hog wild. Now, just like a cheat meal, can you go eat 4 or 5 donuts after your show and then get back somewhat on your diet to reintroduce the foods? Yes, you can. I made a bad mistake post contest. So it's funny you say this. I called my coach. I won't lay him out. I say it a lot, but he knows who he is. He'll probably end up watching this. Um, he calls me up and he goes, "How do you look?" He goes, "Dude, you're shredded. Dude, you've gotten bigger." He's like, "You're anabolic. Eat, eat, eat." And I was like, "I'm eating as much as I can stuff my face. I'm tired of eating. Eat dirty. Just get calories in. You're anabolic. You look great." And I found, don't ever do this. I found a bag of fruity Dino Bites. It's fruity pebbles with Lucky Charms mushrooms mixed,
Oh,
mushrooms. I wish
right.
marshmallows mixed in. I'd eat like a whole bag in 2 sittings. Bag's like giant. It's like
Oh,
2 boxes of
geez. Yeah,
cereal.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I ended up getting edema and my socks. Take my socks off and like my calf looks huge. Like my joints are swollen. And of course, I looked massive. Like I look 225 pounds. I've never been over 200 in my life. I'm 5'10". So like I did it
Shit.
wrong because I had a coach and I listened to my coach because that's what you should do.
Right.
100% faith, listen to your coach. And it was a mistake. It was terrible. Um, so you need to reintroduce. My wife was given a nice steak meal after her first contest by her coach. And then the next day, you're back on your diet. And then, like a day later, she gave her some good cheat foods, then kind of reintroduced those things. And then she stayed in relatively good shape.
Hmm.
You can't stay shredded. It's not possible because you're pulling water, you're drying out. There's so many things you're doing. But the other thing, to answer your question specifically, I just wanted that
For
information
sure.
out there,
100%. Yeah.
is I'm like, "Oh, what do I want? What do I want?" I was, you know what? And I hate pizza. It's too oily, it's greasy, it's thick. I don't like it typically. I'll
Hmm.
eat it, but I can't eat more than a slice or two. I wanted pizza. So we went to a pizza place and I did LA championships, men's physique masters, and I won LA championships in my age group. So I was like, yay, let's go celebrate. I'm skinny. We didn't have the pizza. First piece, sick to my stomach.
Oh,
Felt terrible. It was horrible because your body's a machine. It's just like a Formula One car. It's
right.
used to being the best racing fuel known to man. All of a sudden, you throw 87 octane in it. It's not going
Ah,
to do
it's not
well.
going to work.
So I'm running on perfection for a
Right.
diet,
Yeah. Pure fuel, pure,
pure perfect
perfect
diet.
fuel.
And
Yeah.
nobody out trained me and nobody out dieted me. So when I say my diet was perfect, it was within 1 gram of every macro and within 5 to 10 calories every day.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just, you know me, I'm built that way,
Yeah.
right?
For sure.
So
Yeah.
after doing that, I introduced pizza and my body's like,
It's
this
a
is this
monkey
is
wrench in the
gross.
whole system, man.
So you know what I learned? I learned that like you get used to these foods that if your body was eating the right stuff, it would be abhorrent to you. You stop drinking soda for 6 months. First soda you drink, you spit the water out, or you spit the soda out of your nose
Yeah.
because you're not used to that kind of carbonation.
Right.
And all the sugars, like, this is
Yeah.
disgusting
I'm the same way now, too. Yeah.
because your body gets used to it and wants more gross stuff, more gross stuff, more gross stuff. And these companies feed it to you, feed it to you, feed it to you.
Yeah. They
And
do.
then you eat clean and you
Yeah.
have your first cheat meal and you're like, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Your body's telling you should have had it in the first place.
Right.
That's what I learned more than anything. And I tell people a couple things when they're going to hire me as a contest prep coach. Number one, back to what you're saying. First thing I tell them, it's very selfish. The
Very
next 8 to 12
selfish.
weeks, depending on their program, it's going to be all about you. What you
Yeah.
eat, when you eat, what you can do, what you can't do. I can't go there because I can't meal prep. There's no microwave available. Like all this stuff comes into play.
Right.
You need to tell. So when I do that, and I know they have a girlfriend, a loved one, facsimile thereof, they're all in a group chat with me. And when I talk to them and I go, they need to see it and know that their coach is saying, you cannot go there. You cannot have that.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. You cannot sleep in today. You have to get up and have your first meal.
Right.
Because in order to get the calories they need, a clean meal is like 450 to 550 calories.
Now, what percentage of calories to protein?
It's different for everybody.
Really?
Yeah, different everybody. They say that 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. That's the normal math. If you're taking gear or
1.5
anything like that, if you're
grams,
taking any
really?
kind of illicit drugs or whatever, because that's so common now,
Yeah, it
it's
is.
going to change. You can take a little bit more protein, but we can only take in a certain amount of protein, and the rest is waste. Just goes in and out. It's a waste. So that's a whole other topic. But the reality is, I get them on there because I need them to know, and I need their significant other to know that they're going to stress. They're going to have their body chemical makeup's going to be all over the place.
Yeah.
They might get grumpy. They might get needy. They
Hangry?
might get,
Yeah.
and depending on what substances they use, their sex drive is going to be through the roof.
Mm.
If they use trembolone, that woman's either going to go, "Oh my God, this has been the best 12 weeks of my life," or
Or
she's
we.
going to go, "I'm exhausted. Get this guy off of this crap." First question I ask them is, "Are you going to do this natural or not natural?"
Yeah.
And I'm like your lawyer. I need to know the truth because your diet workout program would be completely different, completely different. And I don't judge; it's not my problem. I just need to know
Right.
because they're going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we plan accordingly. And I tell them, you need to know this about that. If he's taking this is now. I need to know if you're having any of these symptoms, of these problems, because I need to know as your coach.
Right.
Stop doing that. Change this. Change that. Do that. Um, it's just part of the deal. So the other things I say is that, listen, it's 8 to 12 weeks. Like it's nothing. It'll be over like that. It's miserable, but like no one can kill you in 8 to 12 weeks. It's like we
Yeah.
talked about buds. If you just realize they can't kill you, you're stand a good chance of making it through.
Yeah.
Same thing, 8 to 12 weeks. So when it comes to building a diet, you've been through so many. What I want to talk about my side, and I want to get your take because you've done them all.
Yeah.
You've done it. I've seen it. Is these fad diets? Where's the South Beach diet now? Anybody talking about that?
I did that too.
Okay, but where is it now? It's gone.
Down.
Where's the Atkins diet?
Yeah, I did that
It's
too.
gone. And they were amazing, and they had their place, right?
Yeah.
Where is keto? Anybody talk about keto anymore? That was all over the internet. Does
Yeah.
anybody
10 years ago, that's all
right?
everyone talked about.
And then Ozempic was big, and the Ozempic was hurting a lot of people. Now GLP-1's better. Now microdosing each one is better. It evolves, right?
Yeah.
But what's never ever gone away? Here's the simple facts. What is the number one way to burn fat on Mother Earth? And if anybody disagrees with me, we can argue in the comments, and I will tell everybody on the planet, even if they're a doctor, they're wrong. The number one way to burn fat on Mother Earth is resistance exercise.
Yeah. Lift some weights.
Period.
Yeah.
You build muscle.
That's what I did this time around versus any other
it's
time.
more sustainable,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Plus, it's more fun.
And think about it this way. Here's your arms. Some fat, some muscle. You're building muscle this way, burning fat this way. You're achieving goals faster. And it's going to last longer because the muscle will stay around a lot longer than just being what I call scubby. Cardio. You don't burn fat on cardio, guys. You burn calories. There's a difference. So when you do resistance exercise,
And
you build muscle.
That's a hard pill to swallow because
I cut all cardio on my clients right off the bat. Zero.
Wow.
100%. And I get them lifting weights. How they lift weights, how heavy they lift weights, what manner they lift weights is going to achieve what body structure they want. Bigger, stronger, faster, lighter, leaner, whatever they want, I can build that.
Yeah.
But I get them off of it. So when you build lean muscle and you're going this way, you're getting tighter, toner, it's what you want, and you're burning fat. The more lean muscle mass you build, the more it burns fat itself. You're igniting fat burning engines on your body. Women miss chest day. I don't need to work my chest. It's one of your largest muscle groups. It's another fat burner.
Right.
Fire it up.
Right.
That's what people don't get. Well, and a lot of people have gotten away from it with the fitness industry now, with girls embracing muscular bodies. It's different. They used to stick out like a sore thumb. I'll look like a dude. I'll look like, no, if you take testosterone, you're going to look like a dude.
Yeah.
If you lift weights, you're not.
Not only that, but that takes years.
It's forever.
Right. That's the thing.
And you have to lift heavy, eat a lot. You got to lift like a dude to look like a dude. You got to eat like a dude to look like a dude.
Yeah.
We won't get into all the other stuff from a fitness standpoint. So these are the misnomers that I need people to get away from and stop. These are unarguable facts.
Yeah.
Your experience with your diet, what worked for you, what didn't, and they're never going to be facts. They're going to be based on your experience, what did or did not work for your body, because we're infinitely different. I've trained twins, genetic replicas, but they've been through life different. So one, he wasn't burning. The other guy was getting ripped. The other guy was not burning fat. He wasn't on his cut. He wasn't getting more cut. I took his carbs and fats and flipped them. And all of a sudden, good to go. One burns fats efficiently, one burns carbs efficiently.
Interesting.
Claudia burns fats efficiently. She doesn't even like carbs. Her body doesn't even crave them because it knows they don't need them. I'm on 300 grams of carbs per day, contest prep cutting.
Whoa.
I burn carbs like a furnace. I eat basmati rice probably 2 times a day,
Wow.
right? Constantly. I can take in carbs like anybody's business. So everybody's different. That's why I say that I may give you some suggestions, but what works for you works for you.
It's
It might not work for
troubleshooting.
everybody.
It's troubleshooting.
It is
Yeah.
it's like medical practice. They haven't got it perfect. They're still practicing it.
Right.
So it takes 7 to 10 days for a diet to take, for your body to actually show signs. So every 7 to 10 days, I'm getting with my clients and I'm saying, okay, I'm keeping it simple. Ask them normal layman's questions. How do your sleeves feel? Are they getting tighter? Are they getting looser? How's your waist feeling? Getting tighter, getting looser? If they want to gain muscle, I need the sleeves to get tighter and I need the waist to stay the same, if not go down.
Okay.
If you're trying to burn a ton of fat, I need everything to go down. I need to know your energy levels, because if I don't have you on the right diet and your meal timing's not right, and I don't have you on the right fuels, fat versus carbs again, you're not going to have the energy. I got to diagnose all that stuff, 7 to 10 days, work it again, make changes, do it again, do it again, do it again. You'll get it perfect. But even if I've done contest prep for somebody 2 or 3 times, I'll finally get them down. The first time, it's blind luck if you get them on fire the first time. Not blind, there's a lot of science to it, but there's no way you're going to know for a fact. I'm going to have you so dialed into perfection on day one. Even Mr. Olympia's off sometimes, right?
Right.
We've seen Kai Green almost beat, because he was off a little and he came back, made an adjustment for day 2 and pulled it off, right? That's an example of it. So I can't sit here and tell you what you did do wrong. I can say that get off the fad diets.
Yeah.
They may work really, really well. I can do lots of stuff to you to take fat off of you real quick. Can I keep it off? Can you feel okay during it? Do you have energy? Am I causing damage to you doing it? Those are the real questions. Let's talk about keto. Keto is the biggest thing out there. People say, man, I lost a lot of weight. Yeah, you look great. You look
keto
cool.
kind of like transformed into carnivore.
Yeah. Everything transforms
because
because nothing's sustainable.
Yeah.
So here's the problem with keto. They go, yeah, I'm on the keto diet. I go, great, good for you. Obviously it's working because anybody gets on keto can burn fat. Anybody. However, what's it doing to you? And I go, okay, so where'd you get the diet from? What doctor prescribed it to you?
Nobody.
Well, I got off the internet. I go, you got a generalized keto diet off the internet. I go, just understand what you're doing to your body. You're placing your body into ketosis randomly for random durations of time. Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Interesting.
Yeah. Think about that for a minute.
That's what I've done my entire life.
Oh yeah, it's a yo-yo diet. We've all done it.
Yeah.
I call it my yo-yo because mine's not as vast as you, but I'm like, I got to gain weight 2 weeks ago. I got up to 193 pounds. From 158, I dropped down. I was really sick, had some problems. 158 back to 193 at 54 years old. That was tough. Came with this. Then I go, I need to dial it back a little this. Then I lost some of this. I can't clean bulk. I can't. My metabolism is too high. And when I cut so easy that it's hard to turn that dial. Like I turn it barely and too much.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So now I'm down about 10 pounds where I want to be. And next couple of podcasts, watch people be like, oh, he gained his weight back. Because I'm not noticeable on a small frame.
Yeah.
Right. I have like a 32-inch waist when I'm bulking.
Speaking, I want to point on that too, about how 10 pounds can make a big difference on a small frame like you.
Yeah.
And this is I wanted a lot of people on this medication. I follow a lot of people on social media, and some people say, not a some, let me rephrase that. Every single person, we're talking, if you're losing 150 pounds or more, I've lost 50 pounds and no one's noticed, right? So, and my friends knew that I was on this diet. No one really noticed and said, damn, Jack, you're looking thin now. It was 90 pounds.
Wow.
Once I lost 90 pounds, they're like, okay, now we see it.
Yeah.
Right. When I first dropped the first 32 pounds, I thought I was hot to trot. When I went from 432 to 400, I was like, yeah, look at me. Look, I was wearing this exact hoodie a year ago, and it was like this, stretched to the max. Now I can, I'm
it's bad
swimming
to laugh about, but it's good that you laugh about it.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
motivating.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was like, why does anybody, I felt the same thing. Why is anybody noticing I've lost 32 pounds? That's a significant amount of weight.
Yeah.
When I lost 50, no one noticed anything. It wasn't until I lost 90 pounds. And they're like, wow, you actually look great.
To put it in perspective, if I lose 15, people ask me, "You okay?" I
Yeah.
had a good friend because I lost a bunch of weight under stress when I left LAPD with my injury, and I got all this going on, and what's my identity, all this stuff. I had a good friend of mine. If Lily ever watches this, she knows who she is. She said, "Are you doing drugs?" Because I went to like start partying a lot, living in Orange County, all that
Yeah.
stuff. That scene was there, and I was like, "Dude, are you kidding me? Like, how well do you know me? Like, I won't put anything in my body that's bad. I don't even take Motrin unless I'm absolutely dying.
Mm.
Like, I'm against it because everything loses its effect over time."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Did you really ask me that?" She's like, "I got to ask." I said, "No." I said, "Just, I'm stressing so bad." She goes, "You go in the gym incessantly, like 7 days a week." "I'm stressing so bad. I just can't even keep the weight on. I can't rest. I can't sleep." If you can't rest, you can't sleep, you can't grow,
That,
right? You can't grow. So,
we got to talk about
yeah.
that
So,
sleep.
this is the stuff I wanted to dispel and bring out of you. So, here's what I want to do is I want to dive back into you because I just wanted to chime in. I wanted to have the other perspective.
Yeah.
And you asked me to. So, it's interesting. Um, One is like, we talked about this earlier, but we need to talk about it on mic. I deal with similar things you deal with, right? I don't experience some of the shaming you shame. I do
All the
nowhere near the
shame,
effect or the level.
man.
But my self-doubt, my body dysmorphia I've dealt with my whole life, I still see that 132-pound kid from high school, no matter what I do, how I look. Um, or I look in the mirror or I look at a picture and I go, dude, your shoulders look so flat right now.
Mm.
Dude, your waist is widening. Dude, like that's all I see. So, and I hate eating. You love eating and hate not being able to. You see yourself as, well, I'm still overweight. You see, so the result's the same. It's still the battle we're fighting still
Yeah,
is right
the
here.
body dysmorphia for ultra thin people, because I have friends of mine who are that on that end of the spectrum. The difference is the body dysmorphia is internal and it hurts,
Mhm.
but it's the external. When you're overweight, extremely overweight, you're treated like a leper.
Yeah, and
So
that part I can't associate with.
I've
I don't
had,
know. I totally
and I've noticed at the gym, at our gym, right? And I wanted to see this over because I've always ignored it because I've been fat for so long, but I paid more attention over the last 12 months because the primary place that I'm really around people, a lot of strangers, is the gym.
Mhm.
And when you're overweight, people literally, I'll be sitting, over at our gym, right in front of the stairmasters. There's a bench, right? And right after I have to get off the stairmaster, I would sit down on the bench, and there's 15 feet in front of me, right? No, and I'm not spread out everywhere. And I'm just sitting there on the bench, trying to catch my breath, taking my heart rate from 180, trying to get down to 120 so I don't have a heart attack on the floor. And there would be people that would be coming this way and they want to come right in front of us to go to the bathroom. Especially this always is 90% females. They'll come and I could see in my peripheral vision, they'll look up and see me and then walk around me, go up a different alley. They either go on behind me to behind me or go in front. They'll literally, you'll see it's just like doing a route in football. Like they'll see me and then
Yeah.
shift hard. It's noticeable. And or I'll be sitting in the sauna by myself and then they'll come up and look at me and they'll just walk away. Right.
So, and I gotta ask, devil's advocate,
Of course.
don't kill the messenger.
No.
I see them do that to a lot of people. Like they feel awkward walking right in front of somebody in the gym because it's like weird. So I don't know, is some of that still up here? Maybe some is, maybe some
That's
isn't.
where I'm getting at.
Or on the other side of the spectrum, I get people see me walk around because the way I look. And
Oh, you look intimidating.
yeah, I don't look like this in the gym. Let's show everybody what I look like in the gym.
Yeah.
I look like this in the gym.
Yeah. It look like you're very
Like I want
focused.
nothing to do with anybody. And I see people now, I go, hey, what's going on? Like,
Mhm.
and people look at me
Yeah.
and like I'm different. So I get a lot of that too for different reasons. Do you think part of that for us is up here?
Well,
Maybe to a
now
certain extent?
that's where I was getting at. Now they'll walk in front of me. I'll have people come up to me to have more conversations. Then again, I've always been there for a year.
Okay, so so the answer being,
Yeah.
you've proved that to be wrong,
Yeah.
that it's weight loss.
It's weight loss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is when say if I'm at Starbucks, there'll be, it's because it's a hard shift. I mean,
Mm.
it's super noticeable. But now people walk up to me and they'll stand within my perimeter, the 3 foot perimeter that, it's not 10 feet away.
Mm.
Right. So with that being overweight, you're treated with what you treat like a leper. you're gonna catch this disease of fatness. My fatness is you're gonna catch it, right? If I breathe too hard, it's like COVID. Like, I don't want to catch the fatness, And the thing is, and it's sad, but it's just part of our society. We talked about this last time about fat shaming, right? Some degree of fat shaming is good, right? As a fat guy, I approve of fat shaming. Okay,
in a healthy way.
In a healthy way.
Here's an example. See if I fit in that. I've always said this, and I'm pretty brash. I'm pretty. This is what it is with me.
Yeah.
I get tons of people, and they find out I'm a trainer, dietitian, concept prep coach, whatever, that I'm into the fitness world, and they'll be like, they want to immediately tell me stories. Man, I used to be in shape. I used to this, or bro, I'm going to get back at it.
Right.
And they feel this need to talk to me about their level of fitness or make an excuse why their level of fitness doesn't meet what they think my level of approval is. I don't have a level of approval. Here's the funny thing. This is what I say to people, and I love saying it to them, and I don't know if it's good or bad. It is. I go, listen, everybody was made a different shape, size, everything by God. That's it.
Can you say the three? What did you send last time?
Well, the three metabolisms are ectomorph, me, endomorph, you, mesomorph, bodybuilders. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So we're all made different. You're made, let's say, 5'8", 280 pounds, and very little muscle. Great. That's that God put you to be. If you rock it, and I've seen some girls that are heavy girls wear spandex, shorts, whatever, and they got attitude and they rock it. I love that person. God bless you.
Yeah.
That's badass. You're happy? Fine.
Right.
You don't need me. Well, I'm overweight. So you don't need me. You're happy. I'm fine with that. And in fact, I'm impressed by that. But don't be the guy who goes, man, I'm so fat, or I'm so skinny, I need to do something about it. And they complain. Here's the thing. If you're happy, rock it. If you're not, then fucking do something about it.
True.
I'm not losing respect for your body structure.
Yeah.
Or your level of fat or level of muscle. I don't care.
Yeah.
I've trained every shape of person known to man. All I care about is your progress and your happiness. And when I talk about me shooting and teaching shooting, all I care about is your progress and your happiness.
Yeah, that's true.
That's when you know it's coming from the right place.
That's true.
So either, man, just pick one. Be happy and comfortable with who you are.
Yeah.
Right? Or fucking do something about it.
The thing is, too, with that, how many 300-pound 80-year-olds you see walking around? That's where I was at when I turned 40. How many 432-pound 80-year-olds you see walking around?
See, that's where we differ. I don't want to be 80. I really don't care. I just know that there's no way I'm sticking around that long. I have this weird feeling. Whereas you're trying to make it that far. Me, I'm 54 going like, man, if it ended tomorrow, I've had a hell of a life. I'm great. I've got a good run. My body's destroyed. Whereas you're like, no, man, how long can I live? I have no desire to live past like 75.
70, man, I'm triple digits, man. I'm trying to get triple digits.
Good for you, dude.
Yeah,
good for you.
Yeah, so it's an interesting road, man. It's an interesting road.
Yeah, it's a total dichotomy. Like, it's so different from my experience living in my shell versus living in your shell. And I want to hear about what it's like living in your shell. I want to hear about the challenges. I want people to hear about your challenges. I want to hear about your triumphs too. Like, I can't wait for that People article. I'm so excited for you, for these people to see this interview with you and dive way deep. And then we're going to continue to dive deep a little bit more and more all the time.
Yeah.
I don't want to like,
not everything
that's
at once.
my favorite story about you, a little bit at a time, because I just want it to last. It's like favorite.
Favorite,
because I'm super, super excited about it. But
I'm having an issue right now talking about, like, you're talking about the diet. I want to make sure I brought this up. So right now I have a daily 5-pound swing. So I'm either 257 or 262 daily. It's swinging. And I track my macros every day using Macro Factor. We're not sponsored yet, but I'm telling you, I'm reaching out to Jeff Nippard, my man. He made it on, and I saw it in January.
Is that who made it?
Yeah. So he's one.
So I would have plugged MyFitnessPal I've used for years, but then Nike bought them, and now you have to pay for this and pay for that, and they've changed it. And
I use Macro Factor this entire year, and it's been great. And I'll never get off of it, because now, in the beginning, it felt like arduous, right? Because this is a thing where when you're losing weight, right? Calories in, calories out, and you have to have some kind of activity, right? There's people like, that's not true. I'm like, yes, it's true, right?
You can't escape the math, dude.
Math is math.
You can work out 3 hours a day, and if you're not,
if
you're trying to gain muscle
calories,
and you're a calorie surplus, unless you're on gear, man, you're not gaining muscle.
It's not going to work. You have to do it. Yeah, you have to have it, right? But right now, I'm in this weird pendulum swing, because I weigh myself every morning now, because I want it.
It's bad, right?
I know it's bad, but now I've gone
I
psychotic.
tell people not to do that.
I'm psychotic about it, right? Now it's part of my daily routine. I get up, I weigh myself. Okay, where are we at for the day, right? And now it's really interesting. A 5-pound swing, 257 to 262. Like this morning, I'm 262, but yesterday I was 257.
Okay, so I know my body's different than yours.
Yeah.
And I've gone through this many, many times. I swing 2 to 4 pounds. If I'm hardcore bulking, like I don't have as big a swing. It's usually a pretty upward motion and vice versa. But if I'm kind of got what I call balance, I'm okay where I'm at. I'm not killing myself to get bigger. I'm not killing myself to cut. I'm kind of making sure I get my gym time in, make sure I stay, fight ready is mentally how I look at it.
Right.
I swing 2 to 4 pounds with stress and water. And the other third thing, my sodium intake. Because and creatine.
Oh, dude, that's got to be
so
it.
Think about creatine. Sodium does what?
Yeah, between water.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might miss creatine that day, and I'm like, dude, I'm down 2 pounds. No, you're not. You didn't take creatine for 2 days, and your water's flushing out, right? And it's it's like different types of water retention for different things, but your sodium intake, and then your size of your body alone. Like I'm 187 pounds right now, and you're what, 256?
Well, 262 this morning.
Okay, 262. You're going to have more water fluctuation than I do. You have a larger container.
It's a larger vessel.
It's just a larger container.
Yeah, that's true.
I look at things very black and white like that. I don't go, you're fat, I'm skinny. You have this size container. You weigh this. You're this height. I just look at the numbers. So I tell people when they get on a diet, I need to know your current age, your current height, your current fasted dry weight, which means when you get up in your chonies after you pee, before you eat. That's your weight.
Yeah.
During the day, it's not your weight.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with nothing. So that's when you weigh yourself. And I only do check-ins on Fridays. Do not look at that thing every day. Look at it weekly, because weekly, you just want to know, am I going the right direction? That's it. That's all you should need for motivation. The rest of it will screw with you because, like I said, and there's 1,000 other things, iron, whatever. Funny things with iron is like, I find people iron deficient all the time. If you drink a glass of iced tea, it pretty much robs your system of the iron from a full meal. Like there's weird stuff like that I've learned over the years.
That's interesting.
I always say I'm keeper of useless knowledge. That's totally useless to the general public. But it's things like that you just don't know. I will look through your macro calculator or your MyFitnessPal, and I'll tell you some things you need to quit and stop doing for certain reasons.
So
right?
I wanted to bring up why because that means last week and this week I'm at the exact same weight. Now, when people are losing weight and they get frustrated of how much effort they're doing. Now, this week is because I knew like a year ago, right? And I always worked backwards. I knew a year ago that I wanted to be able to get up out in the morning, go do a low impact cardio in the morning, walk, keep my heart rate low, and for an hour. And then at lunch, I do a lifting session, 30 to 35 minutes, because that's all I have with work. In the evenings, I do another low impact cardio and sauna. 3 days a week, 5 days a week, 3 times a day. I make sure that is set in my schedule. And this week was the first time I was able to get all 15 in, right? So I got 15 workouts in this week. I got an hour's walk, 35.
So what did the data tell you?
Because
the only way to know.
I didn't lose any weight this week. I didn't lose anything. So that's the thing. That's what I went, I mean, 262 last week. I'm 262 this week, exactly 7 days.
And your macros and your caloric intake.
100%.
Okay, so either A, your, I say prescribed, your prescribed caloric intake and macros are off.
So I'm doing 1,500 calories.
Well, that means nothing to me, and I'll look at all the data and tell you where you should be.
Okay.
You can do a macro calculator. I'll do your BMR.
Yeah.
Then I'll do the Harris-Benedict equation. Then I'll do the macro calculator. And then I'll go, what do I know about Jack?
Okay.
What does he do at work? What does he do when he's not at work? How active is he and how active is he not? Does he fish? Does he hunt? I need to know all that. And then I'll take all that stuff. This is what people can't match why they hire me.
That's interesting.
Is because math is not math. You got a human being involved, which is the biggest variable on Mother Earth, right? So you put a human being involved, which is we're all infinitely different. There's no two alike. And I look at all that math, I look at you and I catalog all my experience and I go, he's going to be like this guy, or I don't know that he metastasizes this or that. And I'm going to tweak it to my experience and go, fire. You don't have that.
Interesting.
You're just going by the internet, and God bless you. You're seeking out the knowledge.
Yeah.
But this is what people don't know is I get people, you don't need to do my macros, my calories. I did. I know how to do it. I'm like, oh, okay. A couple weeks later, how's that diet working out for you? Well, I'm struggling with it. Oh, go figure.
Because
People don't know what we know.
I did the BMR thing, but I didn't take the other accounts you were talking about. Because, for like most of American jobs, my job is sedentary. I sit in front of a computer. That's what I do all day.
So on top of that, let's say your BMR of 2,500 calories. So you want to be, depending on your goal, you want to be a caloric surplus or a caloric deficit. Me, I need to be a caloric surplus so I can gain muscle. You need to be a caloric deficit so that you can lose weight. But we don't know with your body and who you are, infinite wisdom of everything that's happened to you in your life and what your body genetically is. Do we need 250 caloric surplus deficit? Do we need 750? Do we need 500? I see far too many people just thinking the less calories I eat, I should be losing more weight. That's not right. It's not true. Because if you get too low and you're not giving you what your body needs
So am I
to
eating
be
too
perfect
less?
math, you could.
Off the top of your head?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
I meet these girls with like 800 to 1,000 calorie a day diets, and immediately I'm like, no.
Okay, so this is great. So now I do 1,500. These are my macros. 50 every single day. 1,500 calories, 200 grams of protein, 50 grams of carbs, 50 grams of fat every day.
So yeah, typically your carbs and fat are, this is typical. Carbs and fat are equal, and you're protein heavy. Like that's typical. But I dice them up on their own, and not a lot of people do that. They go with the old percentage, the
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
40,
where I went.
yeah, 40. I see that a lot. It's a good place to start to find out, and then you need to tweak it and work with it, and that's what I do, and that's why my experience comes in. When someone hires me, they're not paying me to do that. You can look at that on the internet now. They're paying me for my experience.
Oh,
They're paying me to go, hey,
So I
we
didn't
did
take that
that
in
and it's not
effect.
working, and I'll tell you why.
I didn't take that into
We
account.
did this, but you're not average. You're different. So what I know about you, we're gonna change. I see it all the time, and they'll go, this is what I have. Where'd you get that? Off the internet. Okay, great.
So when you're coaching your clients, you're doing the whole person.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: when you go through a macro calculator and you go through your BMR, you find your BMR, you figure out subtract 250 for caloric deficit to lose weight, and then you do a macro calculator. Do any of those know what your metabolic rate is?
No,
Do any of those know what? And you can do
the sedentary thing.
yeah, you can do, how active, very active,
Right.
moderate. You do the Harris-Benedict equation.
Yeah.
But does it know you versus him versus me versus?
No, it
And you
doesn't.
think what and does it know that it's all subjective? What is moderate? What is active? Like your
Yeah.
idea of it, mine active is probably nuts for what you guys do. You're like, this guy's out of his mind. That's active for me. Very active is, okay, I'm competing. So what's the definition of it?
Right.
There's so much loose translation and all that. And then, like I said, I, with all my experience, can still find out that, oh, wow, we tried that and that's not working. I flip the switch. Or you get somebody with Crohn's. Or you get somebody with borderline ulcerative colitis. You get somebody with like, well, I have this actual disorder from birth. Like, how do I do that? And I can navigate around some of that stuff. It's difficult, but I can navigate around it and I can help them with all that stuff. You get somebody with the borderline diet control diabetic. Like now their diet's different. Like I get all these curveballs. So I have a lot of experience thrown at me through the years.
Interesting.
And I'm cataloging that, and that's data in my brain. So when I look at you, I pull from that. And I go, no. He's like this one client I had. He's very similar to this. He's done it.
Man,
he's done it before.
Freaking fascinating.
Right. So it's not science, man. It's like CQB. The guys that really know CQB will tell you it's not a science, it's an art. The guys that know diet, it's not a science, it's an art. Nobody's the same. No CQB mission's the same.
Huh.
It's the same thing, right? That's why I love Fit to Fire. All this is analytical.
Yeah.
And I love it. So the reality is maybe we do this together. And I thought about this. I need to get back to my standards.
Right.
You want to continue to progress.
Yeah, I want to lose
Let's
about
do our
40
calculations.
pounds. Yeah.
Let's tell people what our calculations are. Spare the soul. And let's tell people what we plan to do, what's our goal. And we'll check in the podcast. At the beginning of the podcast, we'll say, hey, man, I'm doing this, I'm making this progress, I'm not making this progress. Let's see if we can take you further than you've taken yourself before.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying I'm right. I'm saying I'm different.
Interesting.
I've always been outside the box in everything I do. I think that's what makes me different than a lot. So why don't we do something that you have never done before? that is
Yeah.
not on the internet and is not trying to sell you something and
Yeah.
is not, and by the way, guys, click here for my free introductory thing that later when it's over, you got to pay $29 a month like everybody else on the internet does.
Yeah.
They're doing this to sell their products. We're not selling anything.
I don't know, man.
We enjoy
information, man. That's one information.
Information. And what's the most valuable thing on the planet, right? Time and information.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
51 minutes.
51 minutes. We're doing good.
Oh, okay.
Our lead production manager says to.
Yeah, we had time to short it up. Sorry, we're going to keep this down to an hour.
Let me ask you a couple questions to dive back into you and recap this. Because we had no idea really what we were going to talk about this. We knew we were going to dive into this, so it's taken us mind of its own. I love it.
Yeah.
What is the best takeaway first? And then we're going to follow up with the second question, so they might overlap. So choose one versus the other.
Okay.
What's the best positive takeaway through your journey, your fitness journey of your weight loss and weight gain back that you learn you can share with people in 9 minutes or less? And then what's your biggest negative of like, man, I probably should have done this different or probably should not have done that? So first of all, what's your best takeaway that you've learned you can share with somebody?
The best takeaway is being able to have the mental discipline and be selfish. Those are really tough. You have to put yourself first. You have to. Because if you don't put yourself first, you're putting work first, your family first. I'm sorry, you can't do it.
Yeah.
You have to put yourself first because you want to be able to invest in yourself. And like I was saying earlier in the podcast, is that I was willing to drive to a place to provide a service. They were paying me but to provide a service to expand the company, to make the company better. But I never did anything for myself to be able to invest in myself. So I would say, take the time and invest in yourself, find a gym, go to the gym. And there's people like, why don't I want to work out in the gym? It's intimidating and yada, yada, yada. I get all that. And you want to work out at home? I get all that. Don't do that. Go to a gym because it's like going to a job, right? You're going to go to the gym. I don't care how far it is, go to the gym and then figure out something. Now, where I made my mistake last year, which I wish.
So your takeaway on the negative takeaway.
My negative takeaway, my negative takeaway is the mistakes in the beginning of what I was doing is that I was trying to work out like I was 20, right? I went right into my old routine in military, 19, 20, 21 years old, and that was a gigantic mistake. And I was getting deflated and defeated and hurt and depressed. And because now I'm 432 pounds trying to lift this weight and just walking around in the gym, re-racking weights is a workout in itself. What I wish I did was just go to the gym, and then please, everyone listen to this, go to the sauna. Go to the gym because you want to first, find a time that works out for you. And this is all going to be troubleshooting. Is it going to be morning? Is it going to be lunch? It's going to be evening. Those are always your three options, right? So pick out which one's good for you, go to the gym, and go sit in the sauna. Even if it's for 5 minutes, for 30 seconds. And if it's only for 30 seconds and you're smoked, get up, pack your crap, and go home. Because it's not what you're doing now, it's what you're doing 5 years from now. Because that's how I look at the gym now.
Absolutely.
I look at the gym
as a marathon, not a sprint.
It's a marathon. I never thought of the gym as a marathon. I always thought of it as a sprint. When I was doing this prior, every single fad diet, it was a sprint. This is a marathon, an ultra marathon, a David Goggins ultra marathon lifestyle change. And you have to put the gym a priority in the day. So go to the gym, go to the sauna, sit for as long as you can sit in the sauna, and then go home. Because eventually, you're building the routine first, and then once you have the routine, that part of your day is now in your life. Now you can add on to it. Now we're going to get on the treadmill. Now we're going to get on the Stairmaster. Now we're going to lift weights.
Because I tell people, don't dive into diets, wade in.
Where?
I start by, we'll go through and do all that, and I start taking away things slowly. I was like, kill the alcohol, kill the soda.
Yeah.
What are the snacks that you really keep doing? No. And I try to replace them with smarter things, right? Like you have those glacier drinks,
right.
like zero.
Right.
I can't believe it's not butter, 000.
Yeah.
I use liquid aminos instead of soy sauce. It tastes exactly the same. You're taking in aminos and it has like 1/3, maybe 1/4 of the sodium. Like it's replacements and hacks.
Yeah.
The other thing that I want to highlight that I think what you're saying to everybody is what I'm a proponent for. Go to the gym every single day.
Yeah.
Show up. There's days you don't feel like doing much or I can't lift that heavy, then don't. The days you have it, hit the gas pedal.
Yeah.
So give your body what it needs Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah.
If my body says, let's go, man, put another 10 pounds on today,
Then
I
get
go with it.
after
I
it.
think about it. When it says, you know what, you're struggling a little bit, your joints kind of aching, you don't have a lot of water on board today,
Right.
then I tone my workout down and I add more volume than strength. So listen to your body. Your body will tell you.
Yeah,
It'll tell
absolutely.
you when it needs to rest. It'll tell you when you're going too heavy that day. It'll tell you when I don't have an hour today. I got 20 minutes, man. But do the 20 minutes because it's the habit. It's
Yeah.
the routine.
Yeah, the
If you
routine.
can go to the gym for 2 weeks straight, you're good to go.
Yeah.
You're there. You've created muscle memory. You've created a habit, right?
Yeah.
And create solid habits. So
Well,
that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, 100%. And I wanted to make sure I put this in before we close out on this thing, is that when you're extremely overweight, you're gonna go through different phases. And I wanted, because I'm a data guy too, just like you. And I've been counting my workouts. How many would it take to get to a certain mental space, physical space? So when you first start going to the gym, you're gonna hate it. You're gonna dread it. It's gonna be the worst part of your day. And then after a certain number of workouts, a certain number of trips, now it's no longer an annoyance. Now it's just part of the day, right? It's not positive. Well, it's no longer negative, but it's not positive. It's neutral, right? Then after a certain amount of trips, it becomes a little more positive. The scales start to tip to 51%. So for me, my number was, it took me 100 workouts for me to go from negative to neutral. I want everyone to know that it is a long time.
Yeah.
It's 100 workouts, 100 trips to the gym. And I was like, I went from this sucks, because I would leave the gym and I would have to go home and have to ice my knees. And that's what I was talking about, like with the negative part. Ice my knees. I had to sit in my recliner like no one touched me, right? To when I got out of the gym that day, because if 99 sucked, 100 was neutral. It was literally a switch. And then, okay, so now it went from, okay, when do we go to tip the scale to positive? And now it was 150.
So here's an option. That's mind blowing for me to hear. I love it. Here's an option. Works for me is live in the process. Enjoy the process. If you think about the destination all the time, you're that much more miserable. Enjoy the moment, the process. So when I go to lift weights, I don't go, oh, bicep curls.
Yeah.
I squeeze, focus on that muscle. I get in the moment. I live in the endorphins. I just taught this young kid the other day.
I'm glad we want to talk about the
right?
endorphin thing.
So when you lift, let's say you just get that extra 2 reps that you can't get out of you, which is the whole workout.
Yeah.
And then you rack it, and I go 1, 2, 3, which in 3 to 5 seconds, those endorphins rush through your body. You feel it. I go, do you feel that? And I go, that's why you're here. Chase that. Live for that.
See that I'm glad you brought that up. So it was 150 workouts to when I actually was enjoyable. It was 175 workout. My 175th workout, I had the endorphins. That's how long it took.
Well, so here's the deal. You had them before. You had them workout 1, just so you know. Mentally, you're blocking, feeling them, understanding them, know what they're about, realizing they're there.
True.
They were there. Your body naturally creates them when you work out. It's you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Unless you have serious cortisol levels.
But there's a euphoria.
Yes.
That goes over.
Well, you found that feeling and what you enjoy. I try to teach it right off the bat. I told this kid, I go, and I did an arm workout that about crushed this poor 16-year-old kid. And he's like, dude, you could see his face about to explode. And I go, stop. I go, no, listen, that sucked, right? Yeah. That last couple sucked, right? Yeah. Ready? Feel that. How's it feel? The blood and the oxygen rushing in your muscles, make it feel huge, make it feel pumped. I go, how does that feel? Arnold used to talk about it. We won't say what he used to say about it because you know him, pumping iron.
Pumping iron,
But
great
he's
quote.
so right.
Yeah.
And I go, live in that, search for that. That's what you want. That's what you're working for. That's what you earn. You earn that every set, every rep, every exercise, every trip to the gym.
Absolutely.
If you chase that, it's going to be so much infinitely more enjoyable.
Oh, it becomes enjoyable.
Because your body likes it, wants it. Now, talk about trauma. What do we go for? We go for avoidances.
Yeah.
Now you've figured out how to get a nice adrenaline spike, a nice euphoric adrenaline spike.
Yeah.
And you know how to find it, you know how to get it. Now all of a sudden you find this new addiction for the gym.
Well, see, I want to caveat on that too, is that when you're fat and you're eating the food, we're chasing the dopamine. We're chasing that dopamine hit, right?
That spike.
All that spike, right? I'm going to tell every single fat person that is on a journey or trying to be on a journey right now is that the endorphin high trumps the dopamine high, because the dopamine high only lasts for, it's minutes.
Well, it's fake.
Yeah.
Where's dopamine occur? Where's endorphins occur?
Yeah. So the endorphins, the endorphin high lasts for hours.
There you go.
Hours, right? And that's the
Well,
reason why.
it's like, think about it. Why do you think I chased a gym my whole life?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. That's what I'm chasing.
Yeah.
In the gym, you get an ounce of that.
Yeah, but
And an ounce of
actually
that's
be going
powerful.
into a situation, man, I could not even imagine. It's too bad we can't. Well,
Yeah, we'll start getting on a tangent. We
yeah,
do
we
that.
got,
We do that.
yeah. So this is a great place to stop. But this is
Yeah.
the caveat for everyone. This is going to be the title: Endorphins trump dopamine. That's going to be a name
Powerful.
of this. Endorphins trump. Chase
I
the.
couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And listen, what is sadness? What is depression? What is all the things
And
you
I don't
experience?
feel that anymore. by
They're
the way.
all like they develop cortisol, right? The
Yeah.
stress hormone. The positive endorphins and the things you create in the gym, like they crush that.
Yeah.
I go for the cortisol crush
Yeah.
for my mental health. The gym has saved my life more than one occasion. Literally saved my life. When I was in the darkest places, I went to the gym more. I turned more to the gym. One, it's an avoidance. Two, I'm trying to combat all the negative chemicals, positive chemicals. That's the best way to do it without
Yeah.
drugs, women, gambling, all the stuff that these veterans do.
Yeah.
Normal people do with trauma, and that's the key for me. And that's how I got really into it.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I got injuries, and I became like an injury repair specialist. I had to because I was so broken. How do you take a compound tib fib fracture where they're going to amputate you to squatting 400 pounds in a year?
Yeah.
So you just got to drive. So I'll end on my side with this is I'm blown away hearing this stuff that I wasn't subjected to, and I didn't live that life. I didn't live in your skin, so to speak. It's very interesting to me, and we touched upon it last time, but I will tell you, this podcast is about being a warrior, right? And there's so many definitions to it. This stuff is one. It's just one.
Mm-hmm.
This is cool. It's fun. That's why we decided to give you a different perspective today. But this is what being a warrior is about. You breaking through that, you doing it again. And now I feel like I saw it in your face. I feel like you felt another little breakthrough, something else you can try or cling to
Yeah.
or move on to keep it interesting, to
Yeah.
chase the endorphins. And this conversation is going to charge you up and get you ready to go. We're just hoping this stuff happens for everybody else.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. And for me, this helped me a ton. I gained a different perspective on it for you. It motivates me. It tells me that I'm not reaching my goals. And you're probably sitting here going, dude, really all you have to do is gain 5 pounds of your muscle back and tweak it a little bit. You little, you know what I mean? Like that
Right.
in itself motivates me because I'm like, dude, if this guy has lost 100 plus pounds, now he's like, how can I lose 20 more? What am I doing? I feel like a lazy piece of trash because I missed the gym the last 3 days.
Yeah.
I got plenty of reasons, excuses. I have a gym 20 feet this way. We'll see one day on here.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm taking away from this. I appreciate that. Is reminding me what the war mentality is, reminding me that there are people that battle more powerful things than I do in certain aspects. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. I appreciate it, Chris. All right. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. On to next week. We're out of here.